You're going to need a tennis ball preferably, but if you don't have a tennis ball, I've been playing around. A can of soup or beans may be helpful. If you had like a football or some kind of ball like this, it could be a softball, you could use that. Oh, and if you don't have any of that, or maybe the can might be too intense, you might need to, we're going to be rolling out our psoas. You could even take a hand towel and roll it up. And I put just a rubber band over the hand towel. 2 blocks if you have them. If not, 2 pillows. Bath towel. Did I say a rope or a strap or a belt? I don't remember, but we do need that. So if you have trouble being on your knees, have a chair nearby, and I'll give you a variation for doing some poses. Come onto your belly. If you have a really tight low back, I encourage you to have your belly on a blanket so that your low back doesn't feel extra pinched or tight. We're going to start in crocodile pose. So the feet will be as wide as the mat. And then you're going to stack your hands and rest your forehead down on your hands. Taking a few breaths to settle into crocodile pose. So staying in this position, see how soft you can allow your belly to get. And then as you breathe in, expand your belly into the floor. And as you breathe out, just let go. Expanding the belly very intentionally on each inhale, so much that maybe it even feels like the sides of the waist expand left and right. The exhales, the let go. Expanding even further so that it even feels like your low back expands. Breathing, spreading the tissue of the low back as you inhale. The exhale is letting go. A few more rounds, just like that. And as you stay in this crocodile pose, I'm just going to read a little bit from Jon Kabat-Zinn's book, Full Catastrophe Living. He's the creator of MBSR, Mindful-Based Stress Reduction. He's talking about mindfulness and how not being present in meditation or mindful meditation, the obstacle that it can create. And so I encourage you to just kind of replace meditation with your yoga practice today. He says, if you sit down to meditate and you think, I am going to get relaxed, I am going to get enlightened, I am going to control my pain or become a better person, then you have introduced an idea into your mind of where you should be. And along with it comes the notion that you are not okay right now. If I were only calmer, or more intelligent, or a harder worker, or more of this or that, if only my heart were healthier or my knee were better, then I would be okay. But right now I'm not okay. This kind of attitude undermines the cultivation of mindfulness, in which it involves Mindfulness just involves simply paying attention to whatever is happening. If you're tense, then just pay attention to that. If you're in pain, then be with the pain best you can. If you're criticizing yourself, then observe the activity of judgment. Just watch. Remember, we are simply allowing anything and everything that we experience from moment to moment to be here because it already is. The invitation is to simply embrace it and hold it in awareness. You do not have to do anything. So, holding in your awareness, whatever your present moment experience is in this crocodile pose, take 3 more very intentional big belly breaths, nice and slow, and each exhale, just letting go of any shoulds. And then you'll slowly come on up to hands and knees. If you have trouble being on your knees or sensitive knees, I encourage you to come to a chair and sit on the edge of your chair because we'll be doing a few things on our knees right now. So coming to those hands and knees, on an exhale, I'd like you to round your back, part your shoulder blades, and drop your head. On an inhale, come through a neutral spine and look at your right hip. So look over right shoulder, inhale, looking at right hip, and then exhale back to a rounded back, spine long. And then inhale, looking over left shoulder at left hip. And then exhale back to a rounded spine. If you can't be on your knees, you'll just go exhale, rounded back for you folks in the chair. Inhale, side bending one direction or the other. So keep moving that wherever you are. The exhale is the rounded back. The inhale is a side bend. If you like, you can close your eyes. And then everybody comes back to neutral. And now we're going to do the back bend portion. So the inhale, this time the inhale is the back bend, cow pose, lifting head and tail. You can do that in the chair as well. And the exhale becomes the side bend. So exhale through neutral spine, look over left shoulder. So you're no longer in a back bend as you're side bending. And then inhale back into the back bend. Exhale, neutral spine, look over right. You can do this in the chair as well. Back bend with the inhale, side bend with the exhale. A few more rounds like that. And then come back to a neutral spine. Okay, folks who need to be in a chair, just sit tight and I'll show you a variation. Those are who are on their hands and knees. Inhale, extend right leg back behind you. Draw your tummy in, your spine is long. You're neither rounded or arched. And then exhale, moving from the hip, right knee bends in. Inhale, extend right leg, straight and strong. Exhale, knee moves in. Okay, chair folks. Sitting on the edge of the chair. Exhale, bending knee in. Inhale, straighten the right leg, flex the foot. Exhale, right knee in. Inhale, straighten. Good. Guess it would be like that. Okay, either balancing cat on hands and knees or drawing knee in and extending. Let's do 3 more of those on the right side wherever you are. We want our tummy in and our spine nice and straight. Try to avoid rounding and arching as you do this. Good. Focus on your hands and knees. Swing your right leg back behind you, straight. Plant the foot to the floor. The heel's going to be up, of course, and then really stretch out the back of that right leg. Stretching out the calf. Those of you in a chair, right heel comes to the floor and just fold over right leg. Couple of breaths wherever you are. Second side. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straighten left leg. Exhale, knee to chest. As you move through this, whether you're doing it in a chair or on hands and knees, there's a place between your hip points, the two bones that stick out in the front of your pelvis. Try to pull that area in, low belly in. Lifting ribs away from the floor. And again, if you're in the chair, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Twice more. And then stretching out the back of the leg. Land the foot to the floor, press the heel. And of course, chair folks, heels to the floor and you're folding over. Stretching out the back of the left leg. Excellent. Bring the knee back to the mat. People in a chair, just sit tight. Some of you who are okay with being on knees, we're going to do Vajrasana flow. And then chair folks, you can do that too, but you will be sitting in a chair. I'll demo that in a second. Coming up to stand on the knees, tummy in. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reach up. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Your rear goes back, heart goes forward, dive forward, and just a little tap of the forehead either on a block or the floor as you stack the palms face up on the back of the sacrum. On the next inhale, lift, leading with the chest. Reach arms out and up, overhead. Big stretch. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Reach heart forward, hips back. Little tap of the forehead. Nice way to strengthen the glutes, warm up the hamstrings. Keep moving, folks who are on your knees. Those of you on the chair, of course, same thing. I find that when I do this in the chair, I like to take my feet a little wider than hips width distance as I sit on the edge of the chair. And then I reach up. Heels are right underneath knees. Exhale, dive down. Stacking hands at sacrum. Push feet into the floor to get that glute strengthener as you reach up. Good, everyone's moving. On the exhale is the fold. On the inhale is the reach and lift. About 3 more times wherever you are. And then on the exhale, we'll come to a seat on the floor. Everybody come to the floor. That's the last of the knee business. Find your towel, and I'd like you to fold it so that it's kind of thick, as thick as you can get it. We're going to sit up on the towel, cross-legged, right shin in front of left, and then take the flesh of your rear and draw it back so that you can feel your sits bones making contact with that towel, and then scoot a little forward till it's causing the bowl of your pelvis to tip forward. And then inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold over crossed legs. We'll be here for a few breaths. And the pelvis is tilted forward with the help of this towel so that we're not rounding excessively in the low back. Let your belly get soft. Let your next exhale out through the mouth. And then inhale and come on up. Keep the cross of your legs, the right shin in front, and you're going to take a quarter turn of your chest to the left and then fold once again over left knee. And the invitation continues to just be mindfully present with what is. Perhaps on each exhale, letting go of any expectation for things to be anything other than what they currently are. Inhale, come on up. Kick both legs forward. Flex the feet, toes peel back, and walk your hands back behind you to help bring your chest into a back bend. I have my fingertips turned out and my elbows slightly bent towards each other. And then lift the heart, drawing your shoulder blades together behind you. Draw throat and chin back and maybe look up if that feels okay. See if you can send the breath up into the sternum, up into the collarbones. Big, slow, easy breath in and out. And then walking the hands forward. Let's do the second side. Left ankle on top, in front of right. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and then exhale, fold forward. Stay in this position, but let the next exhale come out through your mouth. And then inhale and come on up. Taking the chest to a quarter turn to the right. And then fold over right knee, walking fingertips away from you, stretching arms out long. Being open to the idea that whatever is present um, for you right now, that it's just as it needs to be, making room for it simply because it is. Whenever your inhale arrives again, come on up. Once again, bring your hands back behind you, kick your legs forward, elbows bend towards each other. Inhale, lift the chest, look up. And then as you draw your shoulder blades together behind you, imagine that you have a piece of chalk on your nose and there's like a blackboard in front of you, and you want to draw a circle on the blackboard in front of you. So let's start at the bottom of the circle and then towards the left and top part of the circle and the right. Let the circle be as small as it needs to be if this is not feeling pleasurable. It can be totally smaller. So do one more circle this direction and then go the other direction. And we'll end at the bottom. Come on back. Oh, actually, keep your hands right where they are. We're going to bend our knees, feet to the floor, and then take the feet wide. So I'll show you my side view. Feet are as wide as the mat. And then we're going to windshield wiper the knees side to side. Windshield wiper. Now, next time knees go right, let them come to the floor. Knees are bent. Left foot, grab a hold of that ankle and pull the foot as close to your rear as you can get it. We're moving into a variation of sage twist. Walking the right hand behind you, left hand comes to front knee. That's your right knee. And then looking either straight forward or over the right shoulder. Vertically lift your chest away from the floor. Let's do the other side. Head turns to the left, coming out of it nice and slow. Slowly windshield wiper knees left. And stay on that towel. Grab the hold of right foot, right ankle. Get it as close to your rear as you can. And then left hand moves behind you, right hand opposite knee, and then looking over left shoulder as you vertically lengthen the spine away from the floor. And slowly coming out of it, come to a cross-legged position or any seat that feels sustainable for you. Doing a little bit more shoulder work. Eagle arms or eagle arm variation. Actually, let's do eagle arm variation. Excuse me. We're going to bring our elbows together and our palms together. If the elbows don't quite make it, that's okay. Just work in that direction. And you want to sit nice and tall to start. Elbows will be just a little bit below shoulders. Lift your heart vertically. And then reach your forearms forward. Hollow out your heart and start to drop your head. We want to stretch the muscles between the shoulder blades. And this is okay if you want. You're going to start rounding the back now. And then inhale, release. And you're either going to interlace your fingers behind you and open the chest, or If that's inaccessible, take your strap and have about like 6 inches of your strap between both hands, and you're going to try to rip the strap apart in front of you. So elbows move away. So this is a great way to open your chest too. A little bit easier on the shoulders if you need it. Wherever you are, we're opening our chest for one more round of breath, maybe turning up the corners of the mouth, and then release. Shake out the hands, shake out the arms, and then place the hands on the knees and lift the shoulders and drop them. Lift, drop, lift, drop. And one shoulder loop. So shoulders come forward, up, and then back, and then just let them settle down. Nice broad chest. So next we're going to roll out our psoas muscle. We're going to use something to kind of press into the psoas muscle. The psoas muscle is responsible for you being able to walk. It tightens and lifts either leg, and it attaches about mid back, goes through your guts. Of course, I can't do that with this strap, but imagine it going through my guts, and then attaches to the front of your femur, and then that's your thigh bone, and then contracts so you can lift your legs. So what we're doing with this is we're applying pressure with a ball or something to just press into it as much as is breathable. And we're going to start down here, and then we're going to move up. And since it's attached to the spine on the back, when you move up, you're kind of starting here, and then you move towards the cat's nose. You can imagine where my cat's nose is kind of where generally, but feel it out for yourself. You'll probably know you're on it because you're like, ugh, that's not it. Oh, that doesn't feel. It's a little touchy sometimes. So you're welcome to use any kind of ball. You can, if you are using a can, go easy on it. I actually dented my can today in my personal practice while I was doing it. So, and I'll use a can for those of you who are using a can too, in solidarity. Come onto your belly. Take your item that you're going to press in and start. You can find your hip point. Just kind of feeling through, or maybe it just, right, some of us don't feel the bone. Maybe it just feels more firm right here where the hip point, that's where our ilium comes out. No problem. And then you're going to bring the can or your ball to the inside of that, and then just gently rolling on top of it. And then breathing. And just like we practiced with crocodile pose, we're letting our belly get as soft as it can. Do your best to let your belly get soft here. And then start to roll your item a little higher. If you are a woman on your cycle, I would go a little lighter on this. You don't need to press so hard. You could maybe wait till you're off your cycle to do more deeper psoas work. And so notice any places where you harden or resist the sensation that's occurring. And if there is any resistance, it can come in the form of holding the breath or tightening of the belly. Maybe some other place you habitually hold tension starts to tense up. You have two choices. You either ease up or maybe you soften into it. You soften your intention, you deepen your breath. You move a little bit higher. When the psoas gets really tight, it can cause back pain. If you have to sit for your work, it is probably tight. And I'm up on my elbows. You might find that it's better for you to have your forehead on your hands like we did in crocodile. I'm just up on my elbows. Well, one, because I like the pressure, but also so you can hear me. Sound gets a little weird. If you'd like to stay on this side a little longer, please feel free, but I'm gonna move over to the left side. So rolling off. And again, I'm finding my hip point, the bottom, kind of imagining where would that attach on my hip bone, and I'm going just above it, right here, and then laying down. If you've selected a very hard item and you just find that this is just intolerable, reach for that hand towel rolled up in a rubber band. You might find that is a better option for where you're at today. Can you slow your breath down? Start to move your item up a little higher. Be sure you're lengthening the back of your pelvis towards your heels to keep a good amount of space in the low back. And just like we breathed into the floor, can you breathe into the item that's pressing into you? Okay, move that item up a little bit higher. And I find personally kind of pressing into the area just below my rib cage gives my diaphragm a nice little massage as well. Every time I breathe, then my diaphragm has to expand into the item. The diaphragm is a sheet of muscles that goes up and down and basically assists you in breathing. As it bows up, you exhale. As it bows down, you inhale. If you need a little longer on this side, please stay. Uh, we're going to move on, coming onto our back and finding our belt or rope, some item. Uh, but before you do anything else, as you come onto your back, bend your knees, place your feet as wide as the mat, come to constructive rest, thighs touch, feet wide, arms alongside the body. Lengthen your tailbone towards the top of your mat. Just letting the spine come into neutral position. One more nice, slow, intentional breath. So finding the strap, walking the feet towards each other now. We're going to lasso the right foot, stretching out the back of the leg a little bit deeper, extending right leg towards the sky. Relaxing the back of your pelvis into the earth. So if having the leg vertical is causing your pelvis to lift up, then have the leg on a diagonal plane. Let's keep with this receptive energy of relaxation, receiving the stretch, receiving the breath. Notice what your hands are doing. You're welcome to stretch out your bottom leg long if you like, or keep the bottom leg, your left leg long, or keep the left foot on the floor. This variation is a good one to do if you do tend to have a tight low back. Uh, and then we're going to keep the back of our pelvis evenly pressing into the floor, but open the right leg out to the right. Stay active and engaged in that right leg. So sometimes there's a tendency to just kind of collapse and roll to one side as you come into this posture. I'd like you to keep that right leg open, swung out to the right, and lifted high enough so you're getting a stretch, but you're also working a little bit. Feel the breath. And then we'll swing the leg through center and off to the left. We're doing this to open up the outer right hip. We're going to get the outer right hamstring. Drawing the right foot towards the left shoulder, any amount. That's the direction it's going. Right hip still on the floor. And then release. Lasso left foot, extending left leg towards the sky. Can the quality of your breath assist you in this stretch? Adjusting your breathing to open a little further in the back of the leg. And now we're going to swing the left leg open, staying grounded in the back of the pelvis. So you're anchored to the floor with the pelvis. And then from the groin, reaching the inner groin and inner leg out through that left heel. Reach it, reach it. And then we'll swing it through center, getting a little outer left hip stretch. And then release. Bringing now both feet are on the floor, knees are bent. Take a moment, notice. Okay, Okay, roll to one side and meet me in a standing position. Mountain pose. Start at the back of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips. Slightly micro bend your knees and draw your hips back a little bit so that they feel like they're really right over those heels. That might be like you feel like you're hinging forward like I am, no problem. I'd like you to then scoop your tail a little bit. So lengthen your tailbone towards the floor just a bit. Draw your low belly in, and then from here, bring the heart vertically towards the ceiling, lengthening, lengthening. Low belly pulling in as you do this. Feel the weight of the body in the heels. And then inhale, sweep the arms up, reach up. Now, some of you may reach the arms straight up here. Urdhva Hastasana, Tadasana. So some of you might find maybe you just reach your arms out in an open position. So only going as far as you can bring both arms. So if you can only lift one arm up, but the other one you can't, then just go open. We want to stay equal on both sides. So here we are, arms up overhead. Keep lengthening our tail, lifting the heart, scooping, drawing the belly back and up. Mhm. And then you're going to interlace your fingers if you can and rotate the palms up. If you can't do that, then just come to two stop hands. Okay, so reaching the arms up, reach, 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 reach. And then very slowly, I think I'm going to, can you get, okay, very slowly, you're going to uninterlace the fingers, but keep the palms facing up. And then moving really slowly, elbows straight, slowly reaching them out to the sides, noticing every little sensation of the arms as you do this. Mindful exploration. Nice and slow. Keep breathing. Fingertips peeling back. Being present with perhaps the burning. Still slowly moving. Slowly moving. And then arms alongside the body. Roll the wrist. Hands come into a little fist. Roll the wrist. Go the other direction. And now interlace the fingers in front of you. Rotate the palms away from you. Slightly bend the knees, round the back, upper back that is, drop the head. Exhale completely. And then inhale, either reach the arms up or separate the hands and go out if you've got shoulder stuff. And then exhale, arms alongside the body. Good. Little half sun salutation. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, fold. Let the knees slightly bend. Fingertips can come to a block if you need. Inhale, half forward fold, fingertips to shins. Extend the spine horizontally away from the pelvis. And then exhale, fingertips back to an item on the floor or the floor. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up. Sweep the arms out and up. Reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of heart. Breathe. So you're either going to come into a child's pose or a downward dog, your choice. You're going to find a position to be in, folding over yourself. I'll demo the child's pose. A few more breaths. And wherever you are, shake your head and let's do some raspberry lips. Big breath in. Twice more. Fabulous. Come on up. So you're going to take your final resting pose next. You're welcome to come right into Shavasana, relaxation pose, just laying flat on the floor if you like. I'm going to offer two other options. If you'd like to get a little extra rest in, you're feeling kind of low in energy, and you want a back of the leg stretch, you're going to do legs up the wall or legs on a chair. Okay, on a chair, or you get your butt as close as you can to the wall, and then you put your legs up on the wall. If you're feeling you've got some neck stuff, chest and shoulder stuff, I encourage you to come into a supported back bend. For the supported back bend, take your towel and you're going to fold it. Let me just show you how I folded my bath towel. I folded it in half, and then I'm going to have you fold that half in half and fold this half in half. And now we've got like a long fettuccine noodle. This fettuccine noodle is going to go underneath your shoulder blades, and it's going to go on a horizontal manner. So like this. I'll show you. You'll see that the towel is coming out under in my, like on either side of my armpit. Arms come to a T. I take 2 blocks or 2 pillows underneath the knees, and then arms to a T here. If you're in this position, once you arrive, walk your shoulder blades together and down the back so that the neck feels long. And key for this pose, I would say, would be that it's the bottom edges of your shoulder blades that are supported by this towel. So it's like causing the towel's causing the bottom edges of your shoulder blades to kind of press into the back of your heart. That's the idea. So you might find you need to scoot a little bit further so that the tops of your shoulders are on the mat. And then items under your knees are key in this pose so that the back bend doesn't go to your low back, as this is a chest opener. Now, wherever you are, soften your face and close your eyes. Deepen your breath. And just notice if there's any resistance to any aspect of your experience in this moment. See if you can be a little bit more mindfully present with whatever's arising, even the resistance. And as we enter into our relaxation pose, I'll once more read this quote by John Kabat-Zinn. So if you sit down to meditate or do yoga and think, I'm going to get relaxed, I am going to get enlightened or control my pain or be a better person, then you have introduced an idea into your mind of where you should be. And along with it comes the notion that you are not okay right now. Perhaps you think, if I were calmer or more intelligent, a hard worker, or more of this or that, if only my heart were healthier or my knees were better, then I would be okay. But right now, I'm not okay. This attitude undermines the cultivation of mindfulness, which involves simply paying attention to whatever is happening. If you are tense, then just pay attention to the tension. If you are in pain, then be with the pain the best you can. If you are criticizing yourself, then observe the activity of the judging mind. Just watch. Remember, we are simply allowing anything and everything that we experience from moment to moment to be here, because it already is. The invitation is to simply embrace it and hold it in our awareness. You do not have to do anything with it. you'd like to stay in relaxation longer, please do. If you only have an hour to practice today, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and moving in any way that feels good until perhaps it culminates into a big morning stretch. Very slowly bending the knees, rolling to one side, mindfully using your arms to help yourself come up to a seat of your choice. We'll meet with our palms together in front of our heart. If you'd like to dedicate your practice to someone special in your life, visualize them clearly right now. See their face. And imagine that with an inhale, you could gather up any goodness that you cultivated in this practice. And on an exhale, you could send it out, sending it out to this person. So let's take a big breath in to gather it up. And as you're ready, send it out. And see them wherever they are, smiling, feeling relaxed in their body, open to their present moment experience, open in their heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.